Hi, I'm Jason Grover for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to talk about Pink Floyd's Animals.
Big shelf.
So, Pink Floyd, massive band, lots of people love them, no surprise. One of their albums, if it's at all possible for them to have an album that's slightly underloved in terms of pop culture, as it were, it's actually the Animals record. I mean, they had such a massive, massive splash with Dark Side of the Moon, then immediately followed it up in '75 with Wish You Were Here, and then 2 albums later they had The Wall, which was their sort of their tour de force explosion. But it's actually Animals that sort of nestles sort of in the middle. It's essentially a concept album, as most of them all are, taking Orwellian notions, the very political aspects of Floyd. Floyd fans really know and love this record, but it's not like it had any particular radio-friendly hits. It didn't have anything that sort of immediately sort of leapt to mind, even in the FM range. The history of the album is actually quite interesting. It's the first one where they actually stepped away from recording at Abbey Road and actually did their own studio. And because of that, the sound quality of the original album was always lacking somewhat. Now, the original cover, this is the Bernie Grubman sourced from digital, but nonetheless sounding stunning, the Pink Floyd entire collection that he and others, along James Guthrie being the main sort of sound guy for Floyd. So James Guthrie is essentially in charge of the legacy of Pink Floyd's audio. He's basically their main in-house audio guy, which is pretty impressive. And then you have Joel Plant and Bernie Grubman, who actually helped do the plating on a bunch of these releases that came out. Really nice gatefold. So this is, again, the one from 2016, I guess it is. And you can tell by the colored cover, this is the original mix. Now, this mix was always fine. It was okay. It's a beautiful record to listen to, but it certainly lacks some of the audio sophistication of either the albums that came before, the albums that came after. Hence the long promised way back in the late 2010s, the remix that we were going to get. And this is, in fact, the 2018 remix coming out here in 2022. This is the standalone vinyl version. It again split in the way that it normally is, a nice big hype sticker on it, and the sort of gray black and white image of the standalone version. This is a gatefold. I'm not opening this because this is actually to go on to someone else, but it does come with a booklet, and I'll show you why none of this is particularly relevant given what we're about to open up, which is the deluxe version. So this is the vinyl only version, and this is straight from the UK, actually, the box set. Now, we're going to open this up and we're going to talk about some of the challenges that this release has undergone, but let's talk about the positives first. So let's open it up and see what's actually inside this box straight out of the mailing label. See if I can do this without too much drama. Inside you have a hardcover book. So this is, again, the deluxe version, which includes, as those of you know, it includes the record, LP, includes CD, and includes Blu-ray and a DVD. Now, it claims to be DVD audio mixes. Of course, it's DVD space audio mixes. That's not DVD-audio. It's not an MLP disc. It's not a high-resolution DVD audio disc, as I understand. The Blu-ray is it shows that the 2018 remix is a 24-bit 48 uncompressed, and the 28 remix 5.1 surround sound is Dolby Digital at 640 kilobits per second. So that is compressed. So it's a DVD with audio on it, not a DVD audio disc. And welcome to the fact that Super Audio CD and DVD audio, we're always going to have a challenge when we can't even get the nomenclature that actually stands. It's like, is it a DVD with audio or is it a DVD audio? Anyway, on a related note, we got Blu-ray audio. So Blu-ray audio has the full 24-192 uncompressed stereo. It has the 24-96 uncompressed 5.1 mix. And it has the 1977 original stereo in high resolution. So what's nice is you basically get a digital version of this, you get a digital version of this, and you get the 5:1 mix of both. And then you get a CD that includes it all, a CD resolution 1644:1, and you get the LP from the same mix. So let's open this up carefully, and I'll show you what's inside. So why would I buy the box set? Well, first of all, the box set is nice. Second of all, I am somebody who listens to the surround mixes. The surround mixes, the 5:1 mixes of Wish You Were Here, of Dark Side of the Moon, extraordinary. And then I have the crazy Pink Floyd box set that has stuff like Metal. Adam Hart Mother's Metal's actually buried in it, and Adam Hart Mother is actually available. It's very complicated. They actually mastered the disc and forgot to take out a file that they had not said they were going to do. Regardless, surround Floyd mixes, particularly the old quadraphonic mixes, are super fascinating. This one is a modern 5:1 mix. It's not a vintage like the Alan Parsons Dark Side mix, for example. This is not a vintage quadraphonic mix. It's the newly done from the source material 5.1 mix. So on the back, that sheet of paper that is the information sheet is there, and then just on the back we have a continuation of the new version of the power plant, which I guess is now the Tate Modern and a whole bunch of expensive condos, if I know my London correctly, and I don't particularly well. Anyway, nice hardcover book. Inside we have, with these sort of squishy stuff, we have here the 3 discs, the DVD, the CD, and the Blu-ray. And inside this little flap here, we have 2 things. We have that booklet that we saw before. So inside here we have the same booklet that's in the standalone record. It has a number of images, many of them vintage, original photo shoot elements, showing off the pig as it was originally shot back in the day. Try to get this without the gloss, sorry about that. Quite famously, the pig that escaped during the shooting. I really like some of these dynamic images of said pig. And as we go through here, some images of the band, and more, the rest of the band, the other 2 members, and then track listings and other elements. I'm looking for the lyrics, which I'll show very quickly. It's in here somewhere, but you get the general idea. Yeah, there we are. So the lyrics, okay, so you can follow along. So again, a decent booklet, not hardcover itself, the same one that shows up in the LP, but nice enough. And then you have the record, which is housed in this atrocious paper sleeve that is not plastic lined. And so I'm going to do what I always do with these paper sleeves, which is to rip it rather than pull it out, because I don't want to cause even more drama. And inside this record, with a lot of static, we have a reasonably flat presentation of the record. Now I'm looking for any obvious marks like there are on the other ones. Yeah, there's a little bit of nonsense at the end here. Some non-fill right at the track 1 here. That is no doubt going to be listenable. And this other side, which happens to be side 1, looks, no, it's got all kinds of nonsense here. So sort of marks in the vinyl. Now this will go through my degritter. It will be ultrasonically cleaned. But here we are right out of the package. And the record has lots of schmutz on it, obviously, and some marks right on the end here. But I am not the first person to comment on the fact that many of these records have been showing up with significant pressing errors. Now, the reason I have all of this, I have them actually previously opened one of these from US. This one came from UK. To try to get actually a decent version. None of them have been what you would expect from a modern pressing. All kinds of baked in errors. We're not talking pops and clicks, we're talking actual scratches, elements on it that you actually hear. It's very easy to hear. If the thing's consistent, then it's just surface noise. It's like all the way. But if it's going, it's something that's actually etched into the record that you're hearing every time that it actually goes around the revolution. That's really what we're seeing. So I was really hoping from UK that I would get my pristine version, and this would be sort of my definitive go-to. But it looks as if I'm running into trouble here again, and then I have a version that we'll just keep trying until we get one that is replaced. I have had a chance to listen to it because I have the other versions in the other box. The 5.1 mix is actually a little less ambitious than I might have expected. It's certainly, look, Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon have moments that really, really highlight that, look, you're in surround. Think of the detuned radio in Wish You Were Here, or Money with the catch register going around all the speakers. This is a much more sort of enveloping surround mix. And the fundamental difference between the surround mix and the sort of two-channel on a decent two-channel system isn't so huge. It's still great. I'm still super happy to have it. But it's not like suddenly the entire record has things like the dogs are sort of barking and surrounding, creating that sort of sense of atmosphere. But it's for lack of a better word, it's a non-obnoxious surround mix. It's a very tasteful one that is really front forward. Most of the sound is very, especially with the guitars show up, it's not like, again, those vintage quad mixes where they used to say, hey, look what's in the back. So they do that. The stereo mix is very, very good. Much, I find, superior to the original. Richer, a deeper bass, better articulation, better sense of space. But there's something to be said about the old school one as well. There's a certain texture to it that may be a little bit lacking in the new one. I got them both, so I can sort of flip back and forth depending on what my mood is. I'm just really disappointed that in the pressing quality, this is my third copy and my third one, which actually has some issues, some more minor than others. So we're going to keep searching away until we find one that is the best one that we can get. There we go, our look at Pink Floyd Animals, the box set. Here we go, one last shot. Yep, Pink Floyd Animals. Again, when you remove the sticker, it's got nothing there. It just shows the image, as Pink Floyd does. I'll have to find a way to actually get this bagged up so that I can, replace the sticker like a crazy person. For thatshelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on social media, and we will see you next video. All the best. Take care.